Nigeria's polytechnic sector may be heading for another shutdown. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has warned it could begin a nationwide strike over unpaid allowances and unfulfilled agreements. The union accuses the government of neglect through poor funding, withholding entitlement, and failure to honor agreements dating back more than a decade.
The challenge in Nigeria is the challenge of government breaking agreements, government's refusal to implement agreements. All of us remember the 2009 agreement government signed with the DAS. Up to today, it has not been implemented. It has been implemented to the place, and that is in the universities. That's true. The same thing, agreements reached, sat down, willingly signed between the unions and the government. Government at the end of the day refused to implement. We see we don't have bombs, we don't have grenades, we don't have guns. What we have are our collective voice. What we have is the power of persuasion. What we have is our advocacy and our lobbying. It's our collective will, our collective power. It's what we have. And so, when we sit down with you and we reach an agreement with you and refuse to implement, what do you expect us to do? If after repeated warnings you refuse, what do you expect us to do? That is why unions would resort to strike as the last measure that is available to them.
ASUP is demanding the release of allowances, salary arrears, approval of degree programs, and the establishment of a Polytechnic Commission. The union also condemned discrimination against HND holders and intimidation of its leaders.
What they are actually fighting for is we have NUC, which is Nigeria University Commission. If you have NUC, there I see no reason why we can't have any commission that will also cater for polytechnics. So I'm sure that's what they are fighting for. But the truth is, instead of establishing another commission, why can't the government bring in both College of Education, Polytechnic, and University under the same umbrella? So instead of making it just NUC, Nigeria University Commission, they could now, change the name and, make it to encompass all higher institutions in Nigeria so that it will incorporate both Polytechnic, College of Education, and University, so that, they will be regulating, academics in those institutions as well. So I think it's a noble cause, but to start establishing new body for that, I think it's going to be a waste of resources.
Strike actions are not new. In 2013, ASUP shut down polytechnics for nearly 10 months, disrupting the education of over 500,000 students. More recently, in 2021, the union embarked on a 65-day strike before government intervention.
One of the issues that we've always identified on behalf of Nigerian students is the unnecessary delay of graduation. And that is one. We have the mental stress, instability in their mental health and their mental state of mind. And then we have incompetency for readiness for the labor market. Now, I'm going to speak quickly on each of these items. Now, we already know that whenever there is this strike action, just like the one that happened in 2013, it gives room for extended years in school, and thus creating unnecessary lapses on the part of students on their life plans. This strike action creates this extension that's now given for spending 6 years before you graduate for a 4-year course, and it has its own effects. And that is how I translate into the second one, which is the mental stress and the mental health of every Nigerian student. I've had cases like that we needed to intervene because the students feeling unstable because of elongated period in the school.
As Nigerian grapples with repeated strikes in universities and polytechnics, the big question remains, will government act quickly to avert another nationwide shutdown affecting hundreds of thousands of students? Sydney Okafo for Anchor News.